views expressed on this program are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other advertisers. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
Hi, welcome. This is Dr. John DeMartini. This is one of the most amazing and inspiring shows that you can listen into. If you want to be on the edge of your seats, if you want to open up your heart, if you want to expand your mind, and you want to meet incredible people, stay tuned because you're just about to experience a transformative radio show that will change your life. And you're listening to the Dr. Pat Show that's coming up right next.
The following audio is via a Skype call.
Welcome to the Dr. Pat Show. Talk radio to thrive by. Powerful, inspiring, and coming to you live, bringing you stories of people like you and me, busting through and living life full out. Get ready to dare to wonder what your life would be like if you knew you could not fail.
Hey, everybody, welcome. It's so great to have all of you tune us in, turn us on. We have a great show, great lineup for you today. I am so thrilled to have Joy Elaine joining me here today. You're going to take a journey with us. And it's a journey that I think for many of us didn't know or didn't understand the reality of making our lives matter. So today's show with my co-host, Joy Elaine, is Making Your Life Matter. Making your life matter. And the question really is, even though we may not wake up every day or say to ourselves, does my life matter? Or am I making a difference in the world, or any of the above? We really do wear it quite heavily on our hearts. And so today, Joy Elaine is going to walk us through what this means and what she's been given, what the messages are that she's been given. Her books and what she's been able to write about literally help us understand in the contribution that each and every one of us can make, how we can make a difference. And it's outlined in the Joy Chronicles. So today you're going to hear about some of the people from other worlds that Joy Elaine has met. And we're going to take you at the journey. And at the end of the show today, you're going to be able to participate in a guided journey, amazing guided journey. And so, this is a show to just sit back, relax, and know that there is an action you can take and that we can all make a difference. Joy, it's great to have you here. Welcome to the show.
Yes, thank you, Pat. Glad to be here. Can you hear me all right? Okay.
Yeah, just chat a little bit there. I think we got you, right, Benny?
Yeah, sounds pretty good so far.
All right. So the books, last couple of years, I started writing them in 2014, and I think I shared originally that I wasn't really planning on writing a book. I was just kind of finding out things. I was really excited about, wow, these people are, these ascended masters that I'm hearing, that I'm talking with, that I'm conversing with, are telling me things that are so exciting that I felt like it was a quantum level change for me in my perception of what my life could be, what my future could be, and the life of everyone on earth. A hope. Not just, well, I'm going to get older and then I'm going to get sicker maybe and then I'm going to die.
Right.
which has been for 125,000 or however long humanity has been here. That's been the story that we've been living. But that can be a new story. And I'm not going to go into the details of that because that's revealed in my books. But it's hope not for me, just for me personally, but hope for Earth and for all the little peoples of Earth, or the big peoples of Earth. It's a bigger picture than I ever had any thought in my head of being. And so, and most of us, sometimes we look up at night, the stars, and say, oh gosh, those are beautiful. And, and that's it, unless you're an astronomer. You don't really think about maybe what's happening out there because you're so concerned with what's happening in your personal life or on the earth. But we are part of something that's much bigger than just the Earth.
Mm.
We are there are 46 other universes. So, I mean, I'm not telling you that, hey, you've got to start worrying about these other universes, because I'm telling you that they're all watching Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone who is anyone is watching Earth now. And you might say, well, why is that? We're really not that important, are we? Well, we are.
Yeah.
We are important. We're the youngest species in all of creation. And the causal place called the fifth realm, which I talk about extensively in my books, that's connected with Earth, that's where everyone's going to end up from all the other universes. So it's important, since we're being watched. I mean, even if you don't care that we're being watched, it's important for you personally, I think, if you raise the bar on your personal life and on your relationships, that helps not only you, but people on Earth and even out into the other worlds and universes.
Mm.
So you have, even the tiny things that you do on a daily basis are significant. Some people, you want your life to matter, and some of you may think that, well, it really doesn't matter that much. I'm doing just this job that I hate, and I'm just going there every day, and I'm just really not having the life that I wanted. Well, you can change that.
Yeah. I mean, this is really part of our dialogue that we have with ourselves. The dialogue of not being enough, not being able to
Right.
contribute, and, not being able to get involved. But, you've set up a way for people to get involved. What do you think it is with us that holds us back from, this level of engagement? And, I'm really finding that people are getting quite engaged these days. But I'd
Good.
love to hear from you. What do you think is really getting behind this? Is it that we don't believe that there's hope for change?
Yeah, I think so. A lot of programming, genetic beliefs that we've kind of carried along, from our ancestors, and just being told, subtly or out loud, that some of us, that we don't matter, or that are, you really can't make a difference. But that's just a bunch of lies or mistruths, if you want to use a better sugar-coated word for it. Because I'm going to mention a couple of things. First of all, I've talked about how reading my books, you can take part in the transmissions that we do. But if you're just not that kind of person, you don't want to mess with anything like that, even just reading the books will help to uplift collective consciousness. Now, let me repeat that. Just opening the book and reading a couple of pages or a chapter or the whole thing, if you don't want to put it down, just reading them, your personal reading of my books helps to uplift the collective consciousness of Earth, because it's new thinking. It's new possibilities. It's about magic, a real magic, not the phony stuff of the rabbit being pulled out of the hat, but the possibilities of what's going to be potential for us. We're not living in a big empty universe, or we're surrounded by life. And if you read the first book, that's kind of the foundation for everything about the work and what's important information. The glossary is magnificent. But I think once you move into book 2 and onward, you become a part of these stories, because the people that I meet,
Mm-hmm.
the people that live on dual worlds, which is worlds that are like Earth, it's not like they don't have the same problems we do. They do.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them have made, magnificent choices and changes in their world. And I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. But you might be disappointed. Well, heck, other places are having the same challenge Earth is. Well, yes, not every place, because there are some entire universes at this point that are completely non-dual, which means they are living in the yummy stuff.
Yeah.
There's no resistance. They can create whatever they want with a thought. I think about 13 universes at this point are non-dual.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we're about half and half. So the more people that become involved in changing their thinking and realizing that, yes, you do make a difference, that even just your daily life, once you start upgrading things, you do significantly impact the collective of Earth.
Yeah. Yeah. And, part of this, here's the thing. We can point to other people on the planet that are making the difference. But for some reason, it's like you said, we kind of really look at that and see them as outside of ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everybody can point to, an individual like Bono. And we think about, look at what he's doing. Look at what he's done. He's done more in the world for humanity than he has for his own music career at some level. There are many people that would say that. And, then you point to a little 8-year-old who decided to sell lemonade to end child slavery. And so yet at the same time, we ask ourselves the question, well, if these people can do it, is that possible for me? And I'd be interested in knowing what the people that you speak would say about that.
Well, the masters that I work with, it's interesting because they are supporting us, but they can't really give us the answers.
Mm-hmm.
They can't advance us beyond where we're ready to be advanced.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm excited because I feel like we're ready. We're ready for magnificent quantum leaps in our interactions with other people, with our thoughts about ourselves. It's exciting for me because it's a time of change. And that when you're talking about children, the children that are coming in now are magnificent.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever watched any of these TV shows or YouTube things where you see the astounding things that little kids are doing. But they came in with a new energy of change and shift and upliftment. Whereas just describing this, not giving any energy to it, those of us of my generation were born, our parents had lived in the Depression, and we came in with maybe a little bit more baggage, a little more challenge than the kids nowadays. But that's all well and good because we can let that all go. That's what the energy is happening now, the ability to manifest things more quickly, to change your life the way you want it. You just have to, pull up your boots and jump.
Yeah. 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 And this baggage, this idea of baggage, one would ask the question, if everything was supposed to be great, why hasn't life been, as many people say, wonderful, easy, blissful? Let's take a short break because when we come back, you've got some stories to share with us about where lives changed and worlds shifted. What's fascinating, for me and many is, and I've talked about this a lot, we're seeing how these extraordinary options, possibilities are showing up in our media. And I'm not talking about our political media. I'm talking about, our pop culture, where we're seeing more and more mystery, science, fiction, fantasy. I mean, the whole movie Arrival was based on possibilities and, other worlds and other locations around the world and other things that are outside of ourselves. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, more with Joy Elaine. And for a minute, would you tell folks a little bit about what you're going to be doing later on in the show? Special meditation.
It's called Unconditional Immersion of Love for the Earth, to support Earth's harmony. And it's part of a series of missions, what I call world missions, that I'm doing one a week. And I'm going to talk a little bit about those because those are only 3 minutes long average, and they are really a marvelous way for you to they're archived on my website just to tune in and to do your part in uplifting Earth and the creatures that live here.
Wow. Let's take a short break, everyone. And when we come back, we're going to be hearing some of these stories. What do they sound like? What do they look like? Are we expecting something different, maybe something other than we are? Well, you're going to hear about that and a whole lot more. Stay tuned, everybody. We'll be right back.
Tune in to The Jen Royster Show, intuitive guidance to inspire your life, each Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific and 11 a.m. Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com. This amazing show is an inspirational hour that will take you on an epic metaphysical journey to discover the spiritual approach to life's greatest challenges. Dr. Jen is an internationally known intuitive counselor, spiritual teacher, and energy healer. Call in for intuitive readings and visit JenRoyster.com for more information.
Are you sick of feeling overworked with no motivation? Take a break from the daily grind. Life coach Nicole Eisler is here to provide a healing journey of optimism. Passionate and caring, Nicole is no ordinary soul. Her dedication to helping everyone has no limit. Witness the power of positivity. Tune in every first and third Tuesday at 4 p.m. Pacific for Positivity Party Radio with Nicole Eisler on Transformation Talk Radio. For more information, visit BigDreamAwakening.com.
Would you like to experience life-transforming adventures in personal expansion and world service? If you do, tune in to learn about magical innate abilities that you can develop and use to make your dreams come true. Joy Elaine is author of the Joy Chronicles, and she's inviting you and millions of others to join her in working with galactic masters, angels, and the Ashtar Command as they assist humanity and planet Earth to achieve their ultimate destination of ascension. For more information about this upcoming event and broadcast, visit joyelaine.com. That's Joy, ELAINE.com.
You, yes you, can be the highest version of yourself. Wellness coach and natural beauty expert Dr. Agnes Frenkel is on a mission to help you play the game of your life. Win in vibrancy, health, and beauty. Because you deserve it. Dr. Agnes goes beyond the limits in her personal coaching sessions to revolutionize health and wellness. Now is the time to unleash your true power. For more information, visit dragnesfrankel.com.
Hey everyone, this is Dr. Pat. I am so thrilled. I've had the honor of working with Leslie Fontaine for the past year or so, and what she has created in her hit program, Sheer Alchemy, transcends what most of us get to listen to or hear in any point in time in our lives. But beyond that, Leslie is working with people all over the world, and she has created something phenomenal based on the feedback and input from the archangels, from the ascended masters, from the light beings, and most importantly, from each and every one of you. So if you want to change your life, if you're ready to step into your own version of sheer alchemy, please give Leslie a call at 678-665-3366. And why? Because this is what you're going to be prepared to do. Be amazed, and on your part, connect with the ascended masters that are there to help you custom make the life that you are meant to live.
Hey everyone, welcome back. It is really great to have Joy Elaine joining me here today. I'm Dr. Pat, and certainly for more information about me, you can go to the Dr. Pat Show. For more information about Transformation Talk Radio, you can go check it out, transformationtalkradio.com. We're talking today about making your life matter. And this is something that Joy Elaine has really brought to the world and brought to people all over the world, so that each and every one of us can understand how we can make a difference. And, how her writings in the Joy Chronicles help us do that, help us step into the world of possibilities. Joy, before we jump ahead and talk about, some of the stories, share some stories, please tell folks, first of all, if they've not gotten a copy of your books, how they can get a copy of your books, and also what you've put together for the people out there.
So on my website, joyelaine.com, there's a Christmas special up until December 25th for the first 6 books for $111 plus shipping. And if you want, I will even gift wrap them and autograph them at no extra charge. But I would need to have the book sent to me and then mail them to you. So that's something exciting. You could use them as Christmas gifts for other people or gift yourself, because that's a great way to start the new year, reading these new possibilities that are coming or that are available for all of us, reading about them in the books. And I want to make sure that you know about on my website also that there's a weekly world mission that you can take part in. It's recorded, they're archived, average about 3 minutes. And I've done 6 of them so far. I'm committed to doing one a week. And the titles are things like Heal the Waters of Our World, Assisting Animals that have been crowded out of their natural habitats, Assisting and Supporting Our Elders, the Unconditional Love Immersion we're going to do in just a few minutes, and then the oceans, the waters, and the creatures that live in our blue, and the air that we breathe. So you can see that these are all things that are really pertinent to help us to support the earth, our home. I'm not focusing on the negative things that you might have thought about or heard about. We're just focusing on sending love and working with the angels. So I think they're very powerful. I hope you join me. You can sign up for my newsletter, and then I will send you out a weekly reminder about what the world mission for the week is. So,
well, what I'd like to do is, this is something we'll talk about even later in the show again, because, the books are a way for information to then be moved through you to the world.
Right.
And that's what you're sharing today. And that's what in this segment we're going to talk about some of these incredible stories from your books where lives change and worlds are shifted.
Yep. I want to talk about a woman named Helena. She's been a very inspirational person for me to meet. I meet her in book 4, Paths of Freedom. And I was told, I hear things from my higher self, and I was told that someone named Sharina Habido was the key to peace in the Fantra universe. Well, luckily, some of the people on that I'm working with, the Ascended Masters, I also got her husband's name, which was Changkolar Kemrina. And some of the people knew his location, and the thing we found out is that he was one of the chief conspirators in a universe-wide plot to overthrow the Joy Councils. So Sharina, which she changed her name to Helena, she was a very important person, but she was also part of his harem. And she'd been sold to him when she was 6 years old. And on her world, for as long as history of the people there, no women had never been honored. They were not considered worthy other than as people that would provide pleasure or provide children. I learned that she had 5 sons who were living, but she had 43 girl children which had been killed at birth. So it was just kind of it was horrifying for me to learn about something like that. And she was never let out of his presence because now that he treasured her, he wanted to make sure that his genetic lineage was kept pure. So the only time that she wasn't with him was when she was in the bathroom. Now, we needed to extract her, and the only person who could do that was Laponi, the genie that works with us, because he was able to, when she went to the bathroom, he was able to instantly withdraw her to our council and manifest a body that looked exactly like her and could speak like her too. So that was the key. I mean, he was able then to filter back a lot of information to us about what was going on in the conspiracy, and we eventually, it was pretty interesting how that all turned out. But she came to us, and she was really at a loss for what to do because she had never had to think for herself. And we think that the only reason she was able to contact me was because when she came to the council, she started studying serenity vibration healing, which works in the past. We think that she gave herself something to help her to be able to communicate with me, because the rest of the women in the harem, Laponi told me, they were mindless. They just didn't have any will. They didn't know what to do with it about anything. So she gifted herself something. But the good news is, through a lot more turmoil, that her world now honors women. Magnificent change in some of the things we were able to do in the past, and that she was able to sponsor. So I think she's a very courageous woman, and I'm just very happy that she is part of our council still.
Yeah. I mean, that's just one story of the many stories.
Right.
But the stories are really what I like to think of, ways for us to open our minds, open our hearts. And I know you've got many more. I'd like to hear another one.
Well, talk about, she's now a person, but she was a crystal. And, I don't know if you know that crystals can have essences or souls embodied in them. And she connected with me, and her name is Cory. And she was very resistant initially to having an embodiment. She came to our council when she had a body for a little bit, but she felt she lost her connection with the rest of the crystals that made up her collective. And so she was sitting for quite some time at our council chair. She looked like an iceberg with two eyes poking out. Because she just wasn't comfortable being in a human body. But then the idea of eating and the idea of watching people being able to walk around, those finally won her over. And I had lined her up with Commander Ashtar as a potential love match, but she fell in love with a pony. And they have 3 babies. One is blue. One can be any color that she wants. And they are able to levitate. They were born in April, so 6 months, 7 months old. They can levitate, they can move through walls, and it's pretty interesting. They're like a new species.
Wow.
So her mother, Zeus, was also a crystal, very resistant to being in body, but she did that as a birthday present for Laponi, and she loved being in a body, and she fell in love with Commander Ashtar. So that's another love match. That's kind of a little thing that I like to do, counsel. And I want to talk about Ihroenees, who came to our council. I believe in book 3 you meet him. He, Tonas, the Ashtar commander, who's my partner in this work, described him privately to me. Said, he's very tall, and he's completely clothed except for his head, which is a bird head, green, brilliant, plumaged bird head. And we both, Tonas and I, looked at each other, and I thought, well, why is he wearing these clothes, completely clothed? So we talked with him in private, and he was really afraid he wouldn't be acceptable to appear as he is. Now, does that sound resonant with how some of us feel? And we, Tonas, because everyone there except me practically is non-dual, which means they have no agenda. They have no judgments about how people look. Everybody's accepted and loved. So when Tonas told this to Ihroenees in private, here's Tonas. He said, all accept with greatest delight, however you wish to appear. We accept you and all of the beings of your world as part of our tribe. And here's what Ihroenees said. He said, I am of speechless. I will report this to all within what you call my universe. This is what we aspire to achieve within our very selves. That advancement which allows us the pleasure of the purity of self. The awareness of that is our greatest privilege to learn from all of you. We are ever grateful to be a part of this council and also to become acceptable as we are.
This idea of acceptance is a huge one. It is what I think is one of our greatest challenges here on this planet. I think that we are willing and we are accepting, and we've gone through decades and decades of getting to know each other, either from different religious backgrounds, different races, and what we've discovered along the way is that while, altruistically, we'd love to be able to say we're all on the same page, I think we're finding we have some deep-seated judgments about each other. I'm curious about what the path to acceptance might look like.
Well, Osiris did a remarkable demonstration, and he showed us the particles that everyone and everything is made of at the council, particles of light. And once you understand that, it's a process that we're all going through. We're understanding that there is one energy of the universe, which is love. We have different notions of what that love is, but it's the magic of the particles of light that everything is comprised of. And as we open to that possibility, and that's what the work that many of us, not just the Joy Councils, but many other light workers are doing, to see that we are one. We are one person, one one individual being in a multiplicity of many beings, that we are all the same, even though we look very different. So as we shift, as the earth raises in vibration, that becomes more and more easily able to feel and be understood by everyone. It's, there's no need to hate that person that's been fighting with you, because they really are made of the same thing you are.
Yeah. Wow, that is really, I mean, that I think is going to be the breakthrough of this particular century. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we've got something really special that Joy Elaine has put together, a guided visualization of unconditional love. So let's take a short break, Benny. When we come back, get ready to participate, get ready to join the journey. We'll be right back.
Are you ready for a game changer? Sarah Westall is bringing you Business Game Changers Radio. Sarah brings you leading experts, visionaries, and newsmakers who provide the best commentary on big issues and cutting-edge innovations. Sarah's 20 years as a business executive will help you think like an entrepreneur with expertise, energy, and attitude. Tune in to Business Game Changers Mondays at noon Pacific, 3 Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com.
Tune in to Mainstream Metaphysics Radio to harness your connection with the universe to effect change for optimal success and happiness. Named one of the country's top psychics, Eve now brings her insights and gifts to this weekly hit call-in show, joined by visionaries, leaders, and gifted others, but mostly you. Jot it down, Thursdays, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com. Tune in to Dynamics of Diversity Radio, scripting the new narrative for immigration with leading experts Kripa Upadhyaya and Steve Tanijo on TransformationTalkRadio.com. This show will remove the noise that often accompanies discussions on this topic and share a new perspective on the dynamics of immigration and diversity, ever reminding us that together we are all at the core of innovation, excellence, and positive change. Visit OrbitLawPLLC.com for upcoming topics.
Have you been seeing numbers like 111 and 222 everywhere you go? Do you feel that the universe may be trying to get your attention, perhaps offering a message of some sort? As it turns out, numerical patterns and certain types of geometry form the very fabric of our reality, from cells under a microscope to the astronomy of our night sky. At Stellar Reflections, we offer special sessions which tap into these patterns, designed specifically to support you on your journey. The 111 and 222 activations are sessions activating new patterns in your energy field, which in turn can help you create new patterns in your life. After just one session with a practitioner, either in person or via distance, clients report gaining greater clarity, becoming more intuitive, and honoring their inner truth as they move forward in their lives. Curious about what these transformational sessions might do for you? Call 425-999-9836 or visit StellarReflections.com. That's StellarReflections.com.
When your body is awakened, your spirit comes alive. Dana Canetto is a transformational guide, embodiment coach, and spiritual mentor assisting women in realigning with their truth and embodying who they are by connecting to the wisdom of their body. Tune in every month on Transformation Talk Radio and the Dr. Pat Show Network for Body Divinity Radio with Dana Canetto. For more information on Dana and her services, visit DanaCanetto.com. That's DanaCanneto.com.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're talking about making your life matter with me. I'm Dr. Pat, and my co-host today, Joy Elaine. Joy, before we kind of jump in, I know you've got another story to share with us before we actually have a fabulous visualization. Again, please tell folks how they can find out more, how they can get copies of the books.
On my website, joyelaine.com. They're also available on Amazon, but I'm not offering, Amazon wasn't wasn't set up to let me offer a special. So on my website, they're available for the first 6 books, $111 plus shipping, autographed and gift wrapped if you'd like. I think that's a good deal. So, and the world missions are also archived on my website so that you can tune in. And if you like what you hear, then sign up for my newsletter so that you can be notified every Tuesday of what the weekly mission is.
Awesome. All right. Now you had another story to share with us before we get to the visualization.
Right. I have to tell you about Charlie. You meet him in the first book as an energy consciousness of 94 individuals that were only energy, and they called themselves the Council of Earth Vigilance. We did a lot of work together, and in book 2, Charlie decides, he didn't have a name, he just called himself the Overseer, or number 1 at that point, because as I mentioned, there's 94 of them in a collective. They decided they wanted to embody, so they first embodied into a crystal in my house. And then they decided that they wanted to have individual embodiments. And of course, we've got the genie Laponi on our council, so he can do that sort of thing. But they didn't want to look human. They didn't want to have any kind of gender. And so they ended up being embodied as swizzle sticks. Now, you know, a swizzle stick, like you stir your drink, very thin, 3 feet tall. Okay, so picturing 94, 3 feet tall swizzle sticks that have various choices that they've been experimenting with because they never had an embodiment. For all of eternity, they were an energy being. And now that they have an embodiment, they want to try everything. So, and they don't need any sleep. So imagine, brilliant, but also innocent. He's maybe like a 5-year-old in the way of his understandings, but when they combine as a collective, they're brilliant. And so one of them, I forget which number, has mustache lips. One of them is entirely green, except he has a black nose because he's an artist and he wanted some color contrast. So you see that they're just experimenting with all these kinds of really interesting ways of being and things to do. And he really got interested in the kites recently. And he made a big kite that was so big that he put like little solar powered fans in it so that you can't always count on the wind, but it was so powerful it carried him right into a tree. So he looked for some weights for the tail for his kite, and of course he raided my closet at the council, and he chose it takes 23 shoes on the tail of his kite to keep it so that it doesn't just carry him away into the wind. And he and Laponi created kites for all the fairies in the fairy gardens. They created kites for all the dragons in the dragon realm, and the baby dragons they went through this period where they get excited and sparks come out their nose, and they kept burning up the strings of the kites, and then the kites would fly away. And so, I mean, I never know what he's going to do. He's just marvelous. And I've adopted all the Swizzlers. They are my children. So it's my gift to be a part of their lives and to hear about the wonderful ideas that they come up with and the innocence that they have. They're precious to me.
Yeah. And innocence. I mean, it is that innocence that we're seeing show up in our lives today. There is a sense of innocence. This is part of the journey that you are on and that you invite folks to join you on. Part of this is also to take this guided visualization with you, which we're going to do now.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about it and what folks may be able to expect. I'm not sure.
Well, you get to tune into the yummy energy of love, the true deal of love, not the one we have sometimes with expectations of how people should be and those sorts of things. But you will be closing your eyes, so if you're driving, you better pull over or listen to this at another time. So, and the masters, angels, and guides are going to help us to pour love onto the earth. So if you're ready, let's start.
Let's do it.
Okay. So there are parts of Earth that, as you might have noticed, are experiencing disharmony. But we're not going to focus on that. It's just something that we're going through and we're going to move out of. The world is changing. And what I really want to do is focus on harmony and balance that we can choose to enjoy for ourselves. You hear that? Choose to enjoy for yourself. That means shifting your focus to those things which bring you joy, which feel harmonious to you. And that spreads to others to help them to be able to step into that role of experiencing harmony whenever it's in alignment for them to do so. It's where you put your focus. So close your eyes, and I want you to imagine the Earth, just like you're in one of those space shuttles. It circles the orb of Earth, and you can do it because it's just your energy body. Just pretend. There's no way that you can do this incorrectly. Now, see and feel yourself becoming as bright as the sun. And just fill yourself with so much unconditional love. Just let it just soak into every cell of your body. And then call forth all the masters, angels, and guides to join you. There's many of them that are willing to step right up. All you got to do is just say, hey, join me today. And as they're standing around you, they're making you brighter and brighter. Each and every one of them and you are taking in this incredible brightness, this lightness that is pure, unconditional love. Now, it's very easy to draw that into yourself and to radiate it because truly the base element of each of us, remember I told you, is unconditional love. Some of us just kind of forgot that. The idea for bringing harmony to the earth right now is to help everything and everyone on earth remember that they are love. So you, along with all the masters, angels, and guides, now begin pouring unconditional love into a big orb of light that is becoming bigger and brighter than even the sun. You're going to be sending this love onto the earth, but the first thing to do is to take it all into yourself. This is going to feel really, really good. Just soak it up. Just become like a vacuum that just pulls in this love. It's unconditional. And as you're taking it in and soaking it in, also begin sending it out to the earth. I like to imagine multicolored streams of light moving in waves out from my heart and shimmering down upon the earth. If you've seen the Northern Lights or pictures of them, that's what I'm visualizing. But you can even imagine spraying showers of love light out of a fire hose. No worries. You're not going to knock anybody over. Now, as you're sending out this love, the ducks, the butterflies, the dolphins, whales, animals, and trees are the very first ones to immediately recognize it and just begin to draw it into themselves. Brand new babies in their mother's womb, little children that still remember that they are pure love, begin hungrily taking in this unconditional love that you are transmitting. They feel the balancing and the grounding energy that comes into play with this immersion of love. And as they take this in deeper and deeper, they feel that incredible Then there are the elderly. Those that have Alzheimer's and dementia are very receptive to receiving unconditional love. And that's not because they're messed up. It's because they've lost the filters that say the things that would keep them from accepting and honoring unconditional love. So they are soaking it up. All the people that are open-hearted and ready are receiving this rain of love that is falling upon the earth. And of course, it's falling upon you too. And as the orb of earth turns, feel yourself fueling this unconditional love. See it moving like a salve upon the earth, and even down into the center of the earth, and then flowing back out and around in all directions and circling to create an incredibly beautiful bubble of light with all the colors, vibrations, and energies of unconditional love. And send it to all those that would desire it and accept it at this time. Thank you for being a part of this wonderful, non-manipulative way to assist the earth and all the people that are ready to receive this unconditional love. I hope you will do this transmission again and that you enjoyed it today.
Yeah, I think it's important for all of us to know that you have made a number of visualizations, but also more importantly, this idea of these guided visualizations on unconditional love immersion for Earth as a way for us to shift from whatever we're in today, whatever we're in the moment, to something else, to really step into the world of possibility, to really be in that place where we're not in human doing, but we're in this place of new level of awareness. Somebody said something to me a number of years ago that I never forgot. And that is that we think that our goal on this planet is to solve problems. Whatever the problem is, that's our goal. Wake up today, put the toast in the toaster, get the kids off to school. And, what she said to me back then is very similar to what you're sharing with the world today. And that is, that's really not it. If we could be in this place of opening, then there is a new level of awareness that we've not experienced before that we will have. And that level of awareness then becomes the vehicle by which we're guided. And I think it's really important for us to choose something new and something we haven't tried before, because what we're seeing in the world today is not a new level of awareness, but a new level of controversy, a new level of anger, a new level of dispute, a new level of, acceptance is not even on the table. And so the question really is, what do these visualizations help us do? How about step into the world of possibility and not probability? They're not the same. Possibility and probability are not the same. People really get that confused.
Well, I know that there are magnificent things that are possible and that will be, because I've been experiencing them. And it's a matter of focus, and I think I know these visualizations, they're short, but they're very powerful. I mean, I could have spent longer. You could have taken, another couple of minutes to really enjoy that energy, because that's what we really are. That love, that neutrality is another term for that, which we'll be able to move into being neutral about the choices that other people make, because we can choose that we can maintain our peace, our harmony, our serenity, no matter what is going on around us. That's our gift of our future. Neutrality and instant manifestation and calm minds, not the monkey minds that we've been dealing with for most of our lives. There's a way to calm that. Meditation is one way, but, who wants to sit and, meditate for an hour? Some people do, but as we shift, as we raise our vibration, as we focus on what matters and being loving and caring, we move into that serenity of mind.
Yeah. I think this idea, I love talking about monkey mind. Perhaps we'll do that one day. One of the things I've learned is growing up with a very active mind, which I've always had, very active in a lot of ways. Active in that I can create and see things in the world, even as a young child, that I couldn't really explain to other people. But it was my mind that helped cultivate a series of images. And so I think what is so exciting is whether or not we're up to exploring the parts of our mind which are so untouched. We have yet to really touch into the realm of possibilities beyond, because we want to put the possibility in a box. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like when we ask what else is possible, we already got the box around it.
Right.
Right?
We're going from what we know that is what's the past, what's always happened. And this is out of the box thinking.
Yeah,
it's stuff that I hoped that genies were real, but I didn't really know that they were until I actually met one and saw one. I hoped that dragons were real, but I wasn't really sure until I actually heard one talking to me and have seen him. So how exciting. You know, we think, well, this is the way it is, and it's not true.
Mm-hmm.
It's bigger. I think that's the main thing that I got really excited about, was it's so much bigger. The possibilities, the future, the brightness of it is incredible. And I hope that people stick around to enjoy it, you know.
Mm-hmm. Well, aren't you really struck by how fascinated we are to things that are out of the norm? And we can't always see it in the world. I mean, if we're busy with our 24/7, and we wake up in the morning and we're doing this and we're doing that, we don't stop to think, wow, that's a really cool thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yet it's very clear, especially through parts of what people are drawn to, where people are going. We're very clear about that. People say we don't know what's on people's minds. I don't think that's true. I think we have so many measures to see that in the world that we just don't know that they're indicators,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
I mean, I mentioned the movie Arrival to you, but I'll tell you, those of us that grew up with a guy named Yul Brynner, one of the most interesting movies that guy ever made was a movie called Westworld.
Mm-hmm.
And fascinating. So far, Joy, that movie was so far ahead of its time that it didn't really get a lot of, what do they say now? Like best-selling qualities, let's
Mm-hmm.
just say,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because things that are ahead of its time are really not, the general population don't really grab onto them. However, fast forward to where we are, 2016, they do a remake of that on HBO. The movie, the television series on HBO is like a mega hit.
Mm.
Why? What are we? I mean,
we're ready.
We're ready. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
We're ready to find out. We're ready to stay glued to the idea of a parallel universe of robots or mechanical people or mega humans. We're so interested in the parallel universes of things that we're playing it out in our pop culture.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's, you may not see that as progress, but I kind of do a little bit.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm more interested in, these other 46 universes that we're part of.
That's
so,
right.
Yeah.
That's right. Right.
Fascinating. People think that, I tell you that the humanoid form is really a very popular one. And I've
Mm-hmm.
seen beings that are like 15 feet tall. I've seen
Mm-hmm.
beings that have a fish tail and they walk upright. I've seen a person that looks like a lion with a man that had a head of a lion, and a two-headed man. So I know that there are other forms, but humanoid is very popular. And as I see these things and I hear these people talk, I just get like, wow, more than I ever thought possible. And
Yeah.
we're part of that. We're part of this huge, big, glorious evolution and expansion to remember that we are one and that we are unconditionally loved and loving.
I know. And it really, at some days, you wake up and you really can struggle to find out meaning in your day. But your message is really to invite and encourage people to do that. Would you take a minute again and please tell folks about your website, how they can sign up for the missions, how they can get copies of your book?
Right on the front page, on the home page of joyelaine.com. There's a place to sign up for the weekly newsletter, the World Missions, and you can listen to them on my website. Like I said, they're about 3 or 4 minutes, so that you can decide if you want to be part of this. I hope you do, because the more people that become involved, it starts a momentum of really speeding up graceful change. I'm not looking for cataclysms, but I'm looking for speedy, graceful change. And you can be a part of that. You can add that to part of the legacy that you want to live, be part of your life. And as I mentioned, the books are on special. Books 1 through 6 are on special for $111 plus shipping. If you want me to autograph and sign them, I will do that. I also gift wrap them. That's only on my website. They are available on Amazon.com. No, there's regular price there. This is only till December 25th, so I hope you'll take advantage of that and order something so that you can start being part of this great, big, beautiful experiment, a parade that we are part of.
Wow. Joy, thank you so much today. Personal message to leave us with?
Yes. About your legacy. Of course, you can choose not to die and leave a legacy, but that's my choice. But if you decide, if that's part of your reality, and if there are things that you want to do and places you'd like to go and people you'd like to inspire and assist, I suggest that maybe working with the Joy Council and the Ashtar Command to support the elevation of Earth is a valuable gift you can offer the world.
I love it. Joy Elaine, everybody. Please go to the website, joyelaine.com. If you've missed any part of this, you can certainly hear it later on today on transformationtalkradio.com. And stay tuned. We've got another hour coming up on the Dr. Pat Show and Transformation Talk Radio. We'll see you next time.
Preceding audio was via a Skype call.